Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm really excited for this deep dive, this whole generative AI thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere right now.
Mm.
And it feels like every day there's a new article about how it's going to,
Oh, really?
like revolutionize everything. And I think a lot of us are wondering, okay, but what does that actually mean for
Right.
for me, for my job?
I agree.
So that's what we're going to dig into today.
Absolutely. I think that's a question on everyone's mind.
Yeah. So we've got this really interesting article from DX Today blog called Unleashing the Power of Generative AI. How it's revolutionizing careers. And
Catchy tight.
it is like, okay, tell me more, right? So let's break it down. What is generative AI?
So I think the article does a nice job of laying this out for us really simply.
Yeah.
It's all about AI systems or, specifically these GANs, generative adversarial networks, that can create stuff, images, text, music.
Wow.
That looks and sounds like a human made it.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the core of it.
It's not just like, crunching numbers or playing chess.
Right.
It's actually like creating things.
It's creative output, which is pretty mind-blowing when you really stop and think about it.
I was reading about how, they can use these GANs to make like these super realistic virtual reality experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
And that just seems like, I don't know, like a whole other level.
It is. And it's not just limited to VR. I mean, you can think about personalized marketing, like ads that feel like they were made just for you, or, even like generating those really realistic images for architecture or product design.
So we're talking big changes across a lot of different...
We are, yeah. This is about a fundamental shift in how work gets done across the board.
So, okay, the article talks about this too. AI taking over these like mundane tasks, which,
Sure.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, free up some time.
Yeah. More time for the interesting stuff. Yeah. But then it also talks about job displacement.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people get nervous, understandably.
Of course, it's the big elephant in the room, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? Like, is this something we should be, legitimately worried about?
Well, I think it's important to frame it not just as job loss, but as a shift in the types of skills that are going to be in demand. So the article really emphasizes upskilling.
Okay.
Learning to use AI software, focusing on areas like human-centered design, things like that.
So instead of like fearing being replaced, we should be thinking about how to work with AI.
Exactly. Become AI savvy.
Yeah.
Right. And the interesting thing is the article really drives home this point that the more we rely on AI, those uniquely human skills actually become even more valuable.
Okay. So you're saying like the more technical AI gets, the more important like our human skills are.
Precisely. Our critical thinking, our problem solving, our creativity, our ability to connect with other humans on an emotional level.
Okay, so it's almost like a balancing act.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Like AI gets better at the technical stuff, and we kind of like double down on being human.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
It is. It's a really fascinating dynamic that's playing out.
So I like that AI is a collaborator, not a competitor.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, I'm still a little fuzzy on how these GANs actually work. Can you break it down for us a little more?
Yeah, so imagine you've got two neural networks, right? They're kind of like dueling. One is the generator, and it's trying to create fake data, like an image. And then you have the discriminator, which is trying to tell the difference between what's real and what's fake.
Whoa.
And so they're constantly going back and forth, competing. And as they do that, they both get better.
Okay.
And the result is that the generator starts creating these outputs that are increasingly realistic.
So the more they compete, the smarter the AI gets.
Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's this constant learning process. And the article talks about how, GANs can be used for way more than just making images.
Really?
They can generate music, write code, even create 3D models.
Wow.
It's pretty wild.
Okay, so this sounds like this could be huge for creative fields.
Oh, absolutely.
But what if you're not a coder or a designer? How can you use this? Does the article talk about that at all?
It does. It does. And one thing that really jumped out at me was this idea that generative AI can actually help you advance your career.
Really?
So think about this. You could use AI to personalize your resume and cover letter, or even practice interview skills.
Oh.
It's like having a super-powered career coach right in your pocket.
Okay, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's like AI can help us be more creative, even in areas that we might not think of, like as
it opens up a lot of possibilities.
creative. But doesn't this bring up like some ethical stuff too? Like if AI can make such convincing content, what's to stop people from misusing it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like bad stuff.
It's a huge concern. And the article does touch on the potential for misuse, like creating fake news or deep fakes.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
It is. It's something we need to be very aware of and really think critically about.
So it's not just about learning to use these tools, it's also about using them responsibly.
Right. It's like a whole new kind of digital literacy.
Yeah.
Being able to spot fakes, critically evaluate information.
It's going to be even more important.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this generative AI thing, it's a big deal. That's clear. But it sounds like maybe it's not necessarily something to be afraid of.
Right.
But more like a tool.
Yeah.
That we can learn to use, to our advantage.
Exactly. I think that's a really good way to look at it.
Okay. So I think we've laid some good groundwork here.
Yeah.
We talked about what generative AI is, how these GANs work, this whole idea of the impact on the job market.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's so much more.
Oh, there's so much more
To unpack here.
You've just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even touched on the whole ethical and societal implications of this technology.
Yeah, that's a whole other...
Exactly. Yeah, worms, right.
It is. And I think that's a perfect segue to our next part of this deep dive, where we can really start to delve into what it means to be human in a world where AI can create almost anything.
Okay, that's a great question.
It's a big one.
And I think it's one that, we're all kind of grappling with right now.
Absolutely.
So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back to dive into that. So stay with us.
It's funny because as we keep digging into all this AI stuff, it really makes you think about what it even means to be creative.
Yeah, for sure. If AI can make realistic pictures and videos and even write stuff, that's indistinguishable from what humans can do. Yeah. Where does that leave, us? What about our creativity?
Well, I think the article brings up a good point. AI, it's great at replicating things, but it doesn't really originate.
Right.
Humans are still the ones coming up with those truly new ideas and connecting things in unexpected ways and putting, that emotion and meaning into the work.
So it's not just about the initial, spark of an idea. It's all the other stuff, too.
Exactly. That critical thinking, problem solving, the human touch, that's what AI can't do yet.
At least not yet.
Right. Who knows what the future holds? But for now, those are the skills we need to be focusing on.
So maybe instead of thinking of AI as competition, we should be thinking about it as another tool.
Yeah, a tool in our creative toolbox.
And the people who can use that tool effectively, those are the ones who are going to
strive. Yeah.
Excel.
The article really stresses that learning to integrate AI into how we work, that's key.
Makes sense. Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
But how would that work in practice? Say you're a musician or a writer. How do you use AI without feeling like it's taking over?
Yeah. I think we'll see a shift from creators to curators, editors, guides.
Oh, okay.
We're taking that AI output and we're shaping it, refining it, giving it our own spin.
Okay, so we're still in control.
We are. It's a collaboration.
Okay, I like that.
Like a musician using AI to generate different musical ideas, a writer collaborating with AI to break through writer's block.
Yeah, it's like AI giving us a boost.
Yeah, like a springboard.
Okay, and I think this is where that whole idea of democratization comes in, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. The article talks about how AI can level the playing field for creators, especially independents and small businesses.
Right.
They can use AI to compete with the bigger players, which is pretty cool when you think about it.
So it gives them access to tools and resources that maybe they couldn't afford before.
Exactly. A small business owner using AI to create really sharp marketing materials. An aspiring filmmaker using AI to do special effects on a shoestring budget.
That's awesome. But if everybody has these AI tools, won't we just get flooded with generic stuff?
Yeah.
How do we keep things original and high quality?
I think that's where critical thinking comes in.
Okay.
We need to be able to spot the difference between AI content that's just derivative and content that's truly unique and engaging. And that goes for both creators and consumers.
So we need to get better at evaluating what we see.
Absolutely. And also really focus on cultivating our own creative voices.
So AI is raising the bar in a way.
I think so, yeah. It's a new challenge, but also a new opportunity.
Okay. We've been focusing a lot on creative fields, but what about everyone else?
Right. Well, we need to remember that AI is going to impact every industry in some way.
Okay.
The way we work, learn, interact with the world, it's all going to change.
So we were talking about AI giving creatives a boost and kind of leveling the playing field for them. But I'm a little stuck on this word democratization the DX Today article uses.
Oh, yeah. What do they mean by that?
Yeah, like what does that actually look like?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they're talking about how AI can make it easier for anyone to create high-quality content. Traditionally, things like images, music, or code, they required specialized skills and expensive tools.
Yeah. Not everyone can be a pro photographer or a coder.
Exactly. But generative AI has the potential to change all that. It gives people the power to create professional-grade content, even without a ton of technical expertise.
So someone with a great business idea but no coding skills could use AI to build a website or an app.
Exactly. Or a musician could use AI to generate backing tracks or even compose entire songs. The possibilities are huge.
So it's like giving everyone a creative boost.
Yeah, exactly. It's about lowering those barriers to entry and letting people experiment and bring their ideas to life.
I can see how that would be a game changer for entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Absolutely. They can use AI to compete with larger companies, create marketing materials that look amazing, or even develop new products and services. It's pretty exciting.
But hold on, if everyone has access to these AI tools, won't we just end up with a ton of generic, low-quality stuff?
That's a valid concern, and I think it highlights the importance of developing a critical eye, both as creators and consumers. We need to be able to discern between AI content that's simply derivative and content that's truly unique and engaging.
Okay, so it's not just about using the tools, it's about using them thoughtfully and with intention, right?
Exactly. Just because you have access to a printing press doesn't mean you're going to write a masterpiece, right?
Yeah. It takes more than just the tool.
Exactly. And this brings us back to what we were discussing earlier about human skills becoming even more important in this AI-powered world. It's not about being replaced by AI. It's about learning how to use it as a tool to enhance our own creativity and problem-solving abilities.
This has been a really thought-provoking deep dive. We've covered so much ground, the potential of AI to automate tasks, the changing nature of jobs, and the skills we need to thrive in this new landscape. But I keep coming back to this one big question. What does it mean to be human when AI can create almost anything?
It's the question of our time, isn't it? And there's no easy answer. But I think the key is to stay curious, be willing to learn and adapt, and remember that even in a world of AI, it's our uniquely human qualities that will ultimately define us.
Well said. Any final thoughts for our listeners out there? What can they do to prepare for this future?
Stay curious, explore new technologies, and never stop learning. The future is what we make it, and AI is just one tool in our ever-expanding toolkit.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into generative AI and its impact on the career world. We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, and maybe even a little inspiring.
As always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this ever-evolving world.
Until next time, stay curious, and thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.